Green open spaces played a big role in our environment and society. It provides clean air, increases the amount of permeable surfaces, which supports the sustainability of groundwater supply. It also helps to preserve the environment, including ecological services and biological diversity. But besides the importance of green open spaces, unfortunately it is rare to be found nowadays. Even though it exists, the quality is inadequate. To create and utilize green open spaces in the best possible way, we need someone who is skilled in utilizing and managing large open spaces into functional areas by paying attention to aesthetic and ecological aspects. A landscape architect is the answer to solve those issues. Manually drawing landscape sketches is one of the competencies in visualizing ideas about landscape related to interior design in the study of shape, proportion, composition, and rendering. So it can be said that landscape sketch functions as a communication between the owner, designer, and the site or landscape. So it is hoped that the meaning of landscape architectural design can be understood. Digitally drawing landscape designs in 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional by using several applications such as AutoCAD, SketchUp, Photoshop, Revit, Lumion, and others, so that these designs can be visualized in a more real way in hope that it can be presented and understood well by the clients. There's also a group discussion that is attended by students accompanied by a lecture assistant, where the role of the lecture assistant here is to correct the student's work before the final assignment is submitted to the lecturer. Landscape photography is needed to capture data to be processed for landscape planning and design purposes. Earth mapping is the activity of measuring, calculating, collecting data, and describing the Earth, especially the Earth's surface. One of the ways to measure it is by using a measuring tape.
ITERA has a botanical garden which spans about 75.52 hectares, providing various facilities such as labyrinth, fountain pools, aesthetic garden, and nursery greenhouses. The plant in this botanical garden has a high biodiversity, which made this space suitable for the research and botanical studies.
Landscape Architecture of Institut Teknologi Sumatera was founded in 2019, and we have a vision to become the best national institution that organizes undergraduate study program in 2025 in the field of science, technology, and art of landscape architecture, engineering, and conservation of natural resources, the environment, such as culture in the Sumatra region, in order to produce a strong, initiative, creative, collaborative graduates in response to the dynamics of nature and socioculture. In order to achieve that vision, we have some mission to accomplish, which are organizing undergraduate landscape architecture education programs based on Sumatra's natural and sociocultural resources, implement basic and applied research activities in the field of landscape architecture, perform community service activities in the field of landscape architecture, and conduct entrepreneurial activities in the field of landscape architecture. Scientific fields. To become a landscape architect, there are many competencies that must be fulfilled. Therefore, it is necessary to master some scientific fields to achieve the competence as a landscape architect. Those are: first, landscape planning. This field studies and analyzes factors that can affect the sustainability of land use, resulting in a master plan that suits the character of the landscape. Some of the courses that support this field are environmental engineering, green infrastructure, landscape planning studio, site analysis studio, and landscape project studio. Second, landscape design. This field is an advanced stage of landscape planning that can produce several products, both in two-dimensional and three-dimensional forms. The courses that support this field are computer graphic for landscape architecture, landscape building construction, landscape planting design, landscape materials, and landscape design studio. Third, landscape management, which is the stage where a landscape architect makes management goals, management plans, and implementation, including monitoring. Some of the courses that support these fields are History of Landscape Architecture, Cultural Landscape Preservation, Cultural Landscape Management, and Landscape Tourism.
Many people thought that landscape architecture is a part of architecture, while actually the two of them is very different in every aspect. Architecture designs buildings and structures with special uses such as schools, offices, and so on. And landscape architecture works in a wide range of professional fields like architecture, civil engineering, and planology. It also focuses more on green open spaces. So the point is, landscape architecture designs by using art and beauty while still paying attention to the interactions between human and the environment.
People around me thought that I was majoring in architecture. Even for them, landscape architecture is still very initial to hear. Those things made me realize that landscape architecture has not been widely known by the public. Even though this profession is very important and very needed in developing country like Indonesia to avoid humans from the danger of natural disaster and create a healthy environment. In short, make a better place for human life, especially in this globalization era that we are facing right now.
Landscape architecture has studio facilities to support student learning activities, where there are 4 studios divided into 3 drawing studios and 1 TPP drawing studio, which are used by students to draw designs, make mock-ups, and do the other tasks. We also have some tools that support the process of completing student assignments, such as laser cutting, a machine that uses laser to cut or slice materials, 3D printing to create 3-dimensional objects for makeup, offset printers that is used to print on a large scale, and others.